So to get started, you want to start on a clean surface. I've wiped my table off, and we have our tapestry needle. Gloves off. We have our tapestry needle, and I have a spool of thread so that I can use this as a pulley to thread my needle. So I have a piece of thread. And I have my needle. So I'm going to fold this thread in half, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put the folded thread into the eye of the needle. All right? Then I'm going to take my piece of yarn and take the yarn and place it into that loop right here. Then I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to pull up and down, and this will allow me to thread my needle. And when we're working with our plastic canvas, we want one side long and one side to be short. Unlike when we were sewing our button, we had both sides even and the thread and the needle was in the center. But for the project, we want one side to be long, one side to be short for when we're working with the plastic canvas. So now we're going to take our plastic canvas. This is a 15 by 15 plastic canvas. You want to check and make sure that your plastic canvas is 15 by 15 because we're making a 3D cube, and if they're not all the same, then it won't work out the way it's supposed to. So this is a 15 by 15 inch cube. We're going to start from our left hand side in the second row, second hole. Now take this in, and I'm going to pull it not all the way through, but I'm allow part of the yarn to rest on the second row so that when I sew it, it'll get caught or catched in and we won't have a knot. So I'm going to start from here, and I'm going to go into the first row, first hole for this cross stitch. Okay? And then I'm going to go into the second row, third hole from the back. When the yarn is in the back and when I'm going through with my needle, I need to make sure that I come through the back with the needle so that it doesn't loop over. So I'm going to sew here. All right. Then I'm going to go in the first row, second hole. Leave my pulley over there. First row, second hole. Second row, fourth hole. First row, third hole. Fifth hole, second row. Fourth hole, first row. And I'm going to keep on going just so until I get to the end of the canvas. And as I'm going through here, my yarn in the back that's been held across the second row is being caught by the yarn as you keep stitching. All right, keep going all the way until I get to the end. Now I don't have to use my index finger behind there anymore because it's been caught by me sewing the stitch. Now, some of you may think once you get to the end that you need to get this hole that's up here. You're gonna leave that until we put all of our plastic canvas pieces together. Now, to start in the new row, you're gonna start in the new hole from the right, first hole. Okay? Then we're gonna go back up into our existing stitches and go back the same direction, keeping our cross stitch. So all the stitches are going to be uniform and going in the same direction. Just like so. I'm going to keep going until I get to the other side. Working with this plastic canvas, some of you may be thinking, well, what is the reason for this? Well, making projects that's handmade, you can sell these types of things to people. You made a mistake. If you make a mistake, you just go back the way you came. I had double stitched in that one hole, so I just went back and got it loose. Keep going until, I'm going to keep going until I get to the end. I did the same thing again. Just go back through. Okay. This teaches you some patience as well. A lot of young people these days don't have patience, or not just young people, people in general don't have patience. So we're gonna come through and get that last hole there. Uh-oh, see, I got tangled. So I'm just gonna take my, you don't go. So I finished the second row. So as I started at the top, I'm from the left-hand side, you always start in the new row in the second hole so that you can maintain your cross stitch. Okay? That's how the stitch goes. You turn it this way, every stitch is going to go in the same direction, no matter which way you turn it. Okay? You don't want to go in and go the opposite direction. Then unless you're making a specific design, and this stitch would be out of sync, or it won't be the same. So if I wanted to take this out, I just go the same way I came and continue back with my cross stitch. Any questions that you guys have, you can comment at the bottom of the video and I will answer those questions. So that's how you start the plastic canvas.